Heather Cheney, and welcome to my home. Today I thought it would be fun if I gave you a tutorial in how to make a simple art journal page. And I can already imagine what you're thinking. What on earth is an art journal? Well, very simply, an art journal is just a journal that you not only write in, but you can also add art to. So let me show you an example. This is the art journal that I began in my first class 3 years ago. And this was a page that the teacher showed us how to make. She showed us how to mask off the middle here to use for journaling for words. And then she had us use ink and a sponge to make this pretty pattern of color all around. And then, of course, it came back later and I wrote a little bit in there. Now, some days you might feel like writing a lot more. And so here's an example of a page where I left it pretty blank and left a lot of room for writing and just had a few pictures that I pasted down there at the bottom. Some days I might want to do a lot of just art. You can see I really didn't put any, other than the words that I pasted out of a magazine, I didn't do any text on here. Then another thing I found that I really enjoy doing in my art journal is Bible verses and song lyrics. So this is a day that I did some watercoloring and then I wrote the scripture verse on top of it. So hopefully that gives you an idea of some art journal pages and what art journaling is. So now let's go to my craft room and let's try our hand at making an art journal page. Okay, let's gather our supplies so we can get started. Of course, we're going to need paper. I like to use this cardstock that I cut in half to fit in my art journal. We're going to need acrylic or craft paint, a pencil and eraser, and then any fine point permanent marker. I'll probably use this Micron today. And then a credit card or hotel key that I've saved, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use that instead of a paintbrush today. And I like to have a rag handy because I get pretty messy when I make art. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is get our color down on our paper. So I'm going to take these craft paints. I've chosen these 3 colors today. You can choose any 3 colors. Probably lighter colors are a little bit better. I'm just going to put a little dab of each color up at the top of my paper. There we go. And now we're going to take our credit card or hotel key and just smear our color down the page. I'm going to lift it up. I'm not going to worry about the paint that's on my key. I'm just going to keep going and let the colors blend. I'm going to go up the other way, get some more color on there, get all the color off my card, get the whole page covered if I can, and that's it. That's how we paint with acrylic paint and a hotel key. So I'm going to let this dry. It won't take very long because the paint is pretty thin. But while I let it dry, I'm going to show you a website that's going to help us with our hand lettering that we're going to put on top of this. Okay, so first I've opened up the Bible.com website because I want to show you my life verse that's found in Ephesians 3:17 and 18. I'm going to use just part of this as our text on our art journal page today because the whole verse is rather long. I'm just going to use part of it. So let's go over to the website I was telling you about that's going to help us with our hand lettering, and that's dafont.com, DAFONT.com. And so here you can see there are lots and lots of themes, lots of different things to pick from. Today I want to go to calligraphy, and now that I'm in this category, I can go to preview, and this is the part I really like about this website, and type in my text that I'm going to use. So I already typed it in and it came up, and then I hit submit, and so now it's going to show me what I'm wanting to put on my art journal page in all these different fonts. So I can scroll down and choose the one that I like the best. And today I wanted to do Sweetline. So here it shows me exactly what I'm wanting to put on my art journal page in the font that I want to use. And now you can see over here it says download, and I have never done that. That would only be if you wanted to save the font for use on your computer. But you really don't have to. For our purposes on the art journal page, just having the screen up in the preview mode is perfect. So let's go and start transferring this onto our page. Okay, so the paint on my art journal page has dried and I'm ready to start hand lettering. On a little scratch piece of paper here, you can see that I've planned out how I want the words to be laid out. I have my laptop over here with the screen open so that I can look at the font and just start transferring it onto my paper. I've already done the word how, so next word I need to work on is wide. So I'm just looking at the screen, seeing how they made each letter, and transferring it on. Now, one thing to think about is don't worry too much about making it perfect or make it look exactly like they did. Just using this as a guide to do some kind of fun and fancy hand lettering. So we're just going to continue on like this until we get all of the words penciled in. Okay, now that I've finished the hand lettering in pencil, I've started going over it in pen here, and it's not showing up real well. It's still pretty flat. So one thing I want to do is look back at the font on this computer screen and see where there are places that the lettering is a little bit thicker than others. So when I look at my H, I see that this line here is a little bit thicker. I see that this line of the H is a little bit thicker too. The first part of the O is thicker. And a lot of the W actually. Right here is thicker. This middle part is thicker. So now that I've added some extra weight to the lines, I can go in and just fill them in. That's gonna give them an even better appearance. So see how that looks? It's already looking a little bit better. I'm gonna work on this word just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna move on and see how fast I can get all of this penned in. And there we have it, as quick as that. We have all our hand lettering inked in. And we have finished our art journal page. So the final things I did to the page were just erase some of the obvious pencil marks that I could still see, and then add these embellishments of the hearts. And I hole punched it and added it to my art journal. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So thank you for watching my tutorial, and I hope it sparked some interest in you to continue art journaling. But if not, that's okay. I do, however, encourage you to continue searching for your creative outlet. I do believe strongly that we were all created by our Creator to be creative. Whether it's dancing, sewing, gardening, making music, or playing in an art journal, I encourage you to find that creative outlet and practice it as often as you can. Thanks, and have a good day. Bye-bye.